In the previous video, we learned how to respond to various job advertisements and also four important words: resume, curriculum vitae, biodata, and profile. So we learned just we came across these four words in the previous video, and we learned only one, that is resume, in detail. We covered various sections of the resume, and before going to look at the model resume, let's recall what are the various sections of a resume. First is our personal details, which consists of name, address, especially our communication address. And as students, you should give the permanent address of your home and not of college. And phone number along with mail ID are very essential, because these days the communication is through mail or by a phone call. So that's why both are mandatory. And after personal details, our resume starts with an objective. So in the objective section, we write the objective of writing the resume. Generally, why do we write a resume? For a post, okay, for some vacancy. So that vacancy is to be mentioned. Why are you writing this resume? Okay, that's your objective. We have selected simple objectives like position as sales executive or any other position. And one thing we discussed, that not to write cliches like challenging position, because they have become very common and it doesn't attract the employer. So after objectives, our next section is work experience. Those who have the work experience, they can write their experience in this column. So the work experience, you list the name of the company where you have worked, the position you held, and years of work. Okay, these three things are compulsory in the work experience. If you have done 2 or 3 jobs, or you have changed 2 or 3 companies, better write all of them. But if you have worked for 1 or 2 months, better leave it, because the employer may think that you are not consistent and you are not one who permanently stays in a company. So in such cases, you can better avoid it. Then educational qualifications. For the fresh graduates who do not have any work experience and just coming out of the college taking the degree, so they can skip the column of work experience and they can write immediately after objective their educational qualifications. So here we discussed that they should be written in reverse chronological order. That means the last degree you have taken should be written first. Okay. So you are writing it. While writing it, you must remember that you should mention the name of the degree, the college where you have studied, and if it is a board, if the degree is given by the board, like Board of Intermediate, so you mention the board and state. If it is given by the university, mention the name of the university and the academic years, from which year to which year you have studied, and the aggregate percentage. So these are to be mentioned in the educational qualifications. After that, after educational qualifications, the most important is technical skills. That is technical qualifications. So, in technical qualifications, you will write about the knowledge of operating the computers. So, you can list the languages known, the softwares you can work upon, then operating systems. So these you can list. And these days it is a very important one, because without the knowledge of technical skills, you find less opportunities. You won't be employed, because in every walk of life technical skills are a must. So that's why it is an essential column. Never skip it. And if you haven't developed any technical skill, from now try to develop the skills. After technical skills, there is a column like profile, where you can write your years of experience, or what you have achieved, or what you have learned in the previous organizations where you have worked, or in that you can write. And strengths, this is one most important column of the section, where you need to list your strengths. Sometimes the advertisements, they themselves prefer certain qualities in an individual. Like some advertisements, in some advertisements you find good communication skills, or tech internet savvy, some words like this. So you should read the advertisement carefully and note them, and you try to write or project them in the form of strengths. You can list at least 6 of your strengths, not a long list. You select them and you write 6 of them. After strengths, we list the additional qualification. In the additional information, we give additional information. In that additional information, we mention the other information, like the languages, and then your interests and hobbies, age, your father's name, and references. So in the last video we have come across all these things about how to write. But in this video we will look at the model resume. So I have written a resume for some person. Here it is a slide, hence I could not cover it in a single page. Okay, but when you type it, it is almost a 1.5 page, probably 1 or 1.5 page. But here I could not make it because of constraint in the space on the slide. But these are not separate sections. Remember, these are not separate sections. They are all continued, but because of the space constraint, I have listed them in various slides. Okay. Now let us look at the first one. This is the first slide. See how I am writing. This is not the standard format, but this is one accepted format. You can make your own format provided that these are to be covered. Okay, all the sections what I have told you should be covered. If you search in the net, you can find various kinds of resumes. You select one good and you can make a good resume for yourself. This is as a model that is prescribed by our government, so that I am presenting to you. Some people write skills, some people write tools. Okay, so some write in some resumes a special column for awards received, achievements. In that way they provide you with different kinds of interest, your interests other than academic activities. So these are various sections you can find, but this is given by the Board of Intermediate, so that's why better we follow this format. So in the center we have written the name and address of the candidate. You can look it very carefully, as the name is written in bold. Then after that we have written the postal address with pin code. You can look at it, and then mobile and the email address. This is how I have arranged. And the next is objective. So here he is applying for the post of senior program, and the name of the company is also mentioned in Master Software Solutions. So that's why here the objective, see I have written objective in a capital, and then the objective is written only one line. I already told you it should be either 1 or 2 lines, not more than that. A position as senior programmer in Master Software Solutions. And after the objective, the column is work experience. So this candidate has a work experience of nearly 2 years. 2014 to 16, nearly 3 years, let us take 14, 15 and 16, 3 years. So this is the years from where to where he has worked. If you are very particular, you can write the months also, March 2014 to April 2016, May, whatever it is, you can write the months also, but it is up to you. Then he worked as a software developer. In this position he worked in that company, so that's why he wrote as software developer. And here it is the name of the company, Persistent Systems. This is the name of the company where he worked, and it is located in Hyderabad. So this is how you write your work experience. So he has worked only for 3 years, so that's why we are mentioning only one. If more than 2 or 3 places you have worked, or in 3 positions you have worked, it can be whatever it is. It can be different positions, it can be different companies or different offices. So you need to list them. Here he has worked in only as in one position and one company, so I have listed only one. It is up to you. So because people after 13-14 years of experience, they change the company, so they might have worked in 2 or 3 companies prior to that. So at that time it is better you list all your experience. And here after that, education, or some people call it academic qualifications. So both are correct, you can use either of that, either academic qualifications or education. So here you can clearly see the reverse chronological order. See, 2010 to 2014 he has done BTech in Computer Science and Engineering, NIT Warangal, with a 86% aggregate. So here also the years of experience and the degree, the name of the degree. So here BTech in Computer Science Engineering, name of complete degree. Then the institute where he has studied, NIT Warangal, and the percentage 86. Okay, so these are all he has written. And prior to that he studied intermediate. So intermediate and generally Board of Intermediate Education, it is Telangana. And government, he has studied from Government Junior College, so he wrote Government Junior College Warangal, and he got 92%, so he got 92% aggregate. Nowadays we have GPA. Okay, you can for SSC you can mention your GPA also. 2008 he has passed SSC, Board of Secondary Education, Government High School, Kottagudem, Telangana. Okay, this is how you list your educational qualifications. So one thing you need to remember is the last attained is written first. The last attained degree or last acquired degree is written first. Right? You see 2014, after that 2010, then 2008. This is how you write. And after educational qualifications, next comes is your technical skills or technical qualifications. Here, this job, the graphic designing, senior programmer, this requires a lot of knowledge about computers. So here the candidate has listed all required qualifications for the senior programmer position. So languages, some languages like C, C++, Java, okay, the operating systems, Ubuntu, Windows, some softwares, MATLAB, LDSpice, SPSpice, Cadence, Virtuoso, web designing, then graphic design. What I would like to tell you is, so here the person is applying for the post of senior programmer, and it is in software solutions. Okay, it is something related to IT industry, where the knowledge is wide knowledge of computers is very essential. So here there is a long list of technical qualifications, but for a person who wants to apply for the post of a school teacher, he may not require all these qualifications or technical skills. And the knowledge of operating system is enough for him. Like operating system, the Windows 7, like Microsoft, in that Windows. If he wants to clearly mention, he can mention the Microsoft Excel, MS Word, PowerPoint, okay, all this. But for such a person, there is no need of listing all this, if because people may not know, such people may not be aware of all these things. So that's why you need to look at what job we are applying for and what qualifications do we need. And also for a typist, a person who is a typist, for him the knowledge of operating system is enough. But if you are applying for a graphic designing, you need to know Photoshop, Illustrator, CorelDRAW, Dreamweaver, all the related graphic designing softwares. So that's why it is important that what skills are essential for the job that you should possess and that you should write. A profile. He has written his profile as highly energetic. The candidate is highly growth oriented. A person, because it's common that people seek growth in their career and seek career in IT industry. Then he has written ability to take challenges. That means he is a person who can tackle different situations. He can take decisions and undertake challenges. So people, employers want people who take challenges. And he can work under pressure. This is very important thing. So where people with balanced mindset, you can say, this person has got a very balanced mindset under pressure. This is very important for the employer. So he looks for such a candidate. And dedication towards work. This shows that the candidate is dedicated towards work. That means he has interest in that work. And so these qualities are essential for the candidates, and the employer look for these kind of people. You can like our colleague. This is also very good if you note down. Okay, and you can list your strengths. Any job needs good communication skills, where there is an interaction with the people and with the colleagues. Good communication is essential. So good communicator or good communication skills. Flexibility and adaptability. Rigid. If you are rigid, if you are unable to change your mindset according to the situation, then the employer and the people around you may pose problems. And adapting to various situations is also very important. So that's why this is taken as a strength for this candidate. Next is positive attitude. Positive attitude, okay. Then attention to details, okay, and strong analytical abilities, teamwork skills. So other than these, there are many strengths. If you look at, you search, if you search for, you can get number of strengths, like problem solving ability, decision making ability, creativity, organizational skills, time management skills, okay. So in this way, you can list a number of strengths. And here the last section is provided with the additional information. So languages known. What generally people know 3 languages, and some people know more than that also. You can list. Interests: photography, painting. So here the interests of the candidates are photography, painting and food. You can write your own interests, provided that if a question is asked on your interest, you should be able to answer in the interview. So before writing the interest, try to write something that appeals you, so that you can generate interest, you can gather information on what you have written. So be loyal to yourself. Otherwise, if you write reading books, reading novels, such kind of things, and you won't read novels, and with that same resume you attend an interview, then if the person asks you that, well, which novel have you read recently, tell me the novel's name or something, if you ask, we will be in trouble. So that's why try to be loyal while writing the interests. Age, okay. Many advertisements, they say they age is a factor, because no, in many advertisements we find that people below the age of 30 can apply. So some vacancies or some positions, it will be like that. People below the age of 25 are recommended, like that. So that's why you need to write your age. Then father's name, you need to write your father's name. These days mother's name has also become essential, so if you have written, it's okay. Then references. Commonly we write available on request. Okay, this is a very common thing. Should write available on request. Only you should write the references in detail, the name of the persons, their positions, okay, and their phone numbers in detail when the employer mentions about the references in the advertisement. If he mentions particularly about the references in the advertisement, then you need to write everything. Otherwise, in the references, available on request is enough. So this is how you should write a resume. I already told you this is a slide and it looks divided into various sections, but you when you write your resume, you print it on A4 sheet. Okay, you just uh, make a copy on the A4 sheet. It takes one or more than one page, and don't write in separate pages. This is a slide, please, and I cannot provide you the total information in a single slide. So that's why I have did in various 3 or 4 slides. Okay, don't do like this. You type it on a single A4 paper, and while typing, other things you need to remember is that maintain uniformity in the font. Okay, all the font except the headings, like here we have 2 headings: strengths, additional information. Okay, on the slide I'm saying. So these subheadings or headings, you can take a larger font, you can take a bold one so that they are clearly visible. And uniformity in the font size and the type. We find various types of fonts in the computer, so don't change the fonts. The type of font or size of the font, it should be uniform throughout. And don't take the fonts which are like somewhat designed. Some alphabet or some letters are designed having shadows at the background, like calligraphy. The calligraphic type font, better to be avoided. Okay, the common font is Calibri, Times New Roman, Arial, Georgia, like that. These are the common types. Don't take calligraphic type of fonts. They do not suit our official needs. Not only here, anywhere. They doesn't suit our official needs. This you need to remember. So this is something about your resume. And the most important thing about the resume is avoid grammatical errors, spelling mistakes. You review once, twice, thrice for these things. See, here I have given another advertisement of a graphic designer here. Earlier we have written the resume for senior program, that was a model resume. Now in the same lines with minor changes, we can write another resume for the same person or any other person. Okay. Like here he is asking key responsibilities, working with a team. So our strength, when you are writing your strength, try to write team management skills, or you are a team player. Okay, then on web and print, 3D animation and set design and enhancing the look and feel of a presentations. So another important skill the employer wants is 3D design. Okay, so that should be written in your technical skills. Will work closely with advertisers and sales force to come up with original and eye-catching design. So here you need management skills. Okay, and see, the advertisers is a word used. Okay, and sales force. and eye-catching design work. This also word used here. So here you need to be very creative. No? The field requires creativity. So you can list creativity as your strength. And technical qualifications and experience. Here a minimum of 2 years years successful relevant professional experience. Here he the relevant professional experience related to graphic designing is required. A minimum 2 years is required. Okay, so that you have to write more than 2 or 3. You should possess this. Okay, and the other is bachelor's degree. The minimum qualification here is bachelor's degree. And see, another qualification here is Adobe Suite, 3D and 2D design. See, technical skills again, you should have the knowledge of Adobe Suite, 3D and 2D design and animation software also, right? So unless you have this knowledge, you will not get a job. So you should see whether you are qualified in this or you are competent enough to use all these softwares. Now write a resume for the following. See, take our model resume and write the resume. You need to make some minor changes. Just look at them. You can change. You can just change it, the minor ones. So now let us look at the resume. So here I have just changed the name of from that candidate. Others I have written the same. Even the Gmail I have kept the same. So this is the resume of. See here. Say change. What a change I have made is, look at the changes. The name, address, it's the personal. So the name of the candidate and address is written. For objective, a minor change we have made. A position as, so here sorry, by error it's again a position is printed. A position as graphic designer, and we have changed in the work experience. There we have listed as some other one, that is what you say, that software developer. Okay, software developer in Persistent Systems, Hyderabad. Okay, that was the work experience there. Here already in the advertisement relevant he has said the word. So the relevant is graphic designing in global creators hacker. Then education. So here also for this BTech may not be necessary. So BCom computers I have listed, the rest is same. See, this I am showing you the difference in the two resumes. Okay, simply the difference in two resumes. And then here see technical qualifications. This is one most important thing. Here in the advertisement it is clearly mentioned to know the softwares of 3D and 2D design, and he has mentioned that he should know Adobe Spice. So the candidate must be proficient in that. So Adobe Spice and 3D Max Design, 3D Max Design, Adobe Animate. So animation was also asked. So Adobe Animate, Pencil 2D, Blender 2D animation. So these are the technical skills possessed by the candidate for that particular graphic designer post. And web designing, okay, then graphic designing again. So here the candidate must know these things, Photoshop, Illustrator, this is a mandatory one. So that's why I have kept it as usual. So here, growth oriented individual seeking a career in designing. There we have told IT industry, but we have changed for our convenience here to career in designing. And manage events was there in the advertisement. So we have just slightly changed to ability to manage events. Okay, ability to take up, and this rest all is the same. Now strengths. So this position needs a lot of creativity. Okay, so that's why creative and innovative abilities you can write. Creative is a more appropriate term here, so that's why creative. And for managing all the advertising, you need to manage sales and everything. So organization for you is important. So that's why I wrote organizing skills you can write. Okay, that's it. And the rest is same. Okay, this is something that minor changes I have made for that advertisement. Now this I have found in the net, issued by the Reliance Group. Okay, so this is one advertisement for sales manager, senior sales manager. And see, job specifications, what is required for a job here. A bachelor's degree, okay, any bachelor's, no specific degree here any bachelor's degree. Okay, then here he is asking for 4 years of experience in cement manufacturing company as a sales manager. Okay, so when you are writing the experience, you need to look at whether you have worked in a cement manufacturing industry. If you are working, write it. Thorough knowledge of projects related business in Nepal. This is a person with knowledge of projects related to Nepal is required here. So here you can modify in your strengths. Okay, in your profile you can manage here. You can write undertook various projects in Nepal. You can write your achievements in the profile also. So that's why there you can write. a sound understanding of competitors' brand and devise strategies to sell them brand presence. So here uh, in the strengths you can write strategic planning, okay, because uh, if you are strategically planned, you can uh, wipe out all the competitors, or at least you can uh, make them stay as they are. Okay, that's why you can write strategic planning. Okay, having knowledge of accounting, you can write your knowledge of accountancy. If you are an accountant, if you have studied something related to that, you can write. And see, computer proficiency with strong analytical and communication skills. So in the strengths, you need to write strong analytical skills and communication. These are mandatory for the employer. So that's why better you write these two skills in the strengths. Job description, formulating and executing sales strategy, establishing and expanding the customer base, and monitor team performance. Okay, team. So here team performance has come. You can write team player or team management skills. Okay, and another is set targets. Okay, so in the profile you can write achieved targets. You can list one target that you have achieved, small or big, you can write. Okay, travel to our target areas and have one relationship with all the main buyers. So here you need good communication skills, already you have written. The another is travel. So there in the interests column, traveling is your hobby or the interest is traveling. So in that way you can bring in all the requirements into the resume. So with this we end our class and try to write a good resume for yourself. Hope you understood very well. With this I will end the class. Thank you.